Welcome to the Planet Rock Podcast, the hottest show in the cosmos. Get ready for insight and inspiration right here on Planet Rock with your special guest, Alex Lockhart, and your cosmic guide through our ever-changing space and time. I'm your host, Raquel Herring. Welcome to Planet Rock, the hottest show in the cosmos. I'm Raquel Herring, your guide on this wild ride called life. Join us every Thursday for powerful stories and insights that delve into relationships and personal growth and entrepreneurship. Tune in on envision-radio.com and catch our replays every Saturday on YouTube. I was trying to think, what am I saying? And your Thursdays just got better, y'all. You can also catch me tonight and every weeknight at 7:30 p.m. live on Point of View. Tune in on Comcast Xfinity channel 1623. Connect with me on social media at raquelherring.com and at Planet Rock Podcast. That's Planet ROQ Podcast.com. Let's elevate your life one episode at a time right here on Planet Rock, where every moment is a step toward your personal victory. That's right. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who truly knows how to make a brand pop and stay profitable. That's the key. Alex Lockhart, the visionary behind Lockhart Entertainment, has been moving in the marketing and event space for 2 decades. Based in Charlotte, North Carolina, he's worked with A-list celebrities, influencers, and brands to turn creativity into commerce and visibility into real value. Alex built a company that understands how culture drives connection and how connection drives cash flow. He's proof that you can build something lasting in an industry that's always changing. We're all in this creative industry together, and today, Alex is here to drop some behind the scenes gems so we can stop spinning our wheels and start moving with strategy. Alex, welcome to Planet Rock.
Hello. Thank you very much, Raquel, and shout out to Planet Rock. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And wait, right now you're in South America, right? Where in South America are you?
I am. I'm in Bogota, South America, with a client. We're going to get started shortly after this interview, but we're doing some missionary work as well, feeding some families, and building a new brand, a brand that hasn't touched bases in America, but once I get finished with the product, you'll see it everywhere.
Oh, okay, all right. How do you like Bogota?
So far, it's phenomenal. I actually live in North Carolina, and our highs right now are about 78, low 60 maybe. And
Okay.
here it's almost identical. The sun just sets a little earlier here in Colombia.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. You feel safe and stuff like that?
Mhm.
Because I know that's like a concern. Some people have been to
Oh,
Bogota.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I can't
No,
wait to get out
yeah, I've honestly, I've never felt that threat of foreign travel that people speak of. I don't know if it's
there.
because of being a male. I don't honestly know, but in my travel through any foreign country, I've never felt that quote unquote threat that is sometimes in the propaganda
Oh,
or in that profile, that narrative. I haven't felt it, but I've been
okay.
moving in corporate circles as I go to these corporations too. So
Okay. That kind of makes a difference. In some cases, yes.
yeah, I think so.
So let's start with your journey. What first pulled you into the world of marketing and event production?
That's an excellent question, and I have a simple answer. My back was against the wall. I had to figure out a way to maintain the lifestyle that I had created coming out of college, and I had to figure out, well, how can I have this same lifestyle of actually going to these parties, but how can I
Mhm.
get paid? I'm dumping money into these parties and hanging out. I was like, I actually need to be making money, and
Yeah.
I figured there was a way, and there was. It was a corporate side, as we all know. There's a corporate side to everything, and there's a
Mhm.
corporate side to the clubs and promotions. And once I tapped into that corporate side, I've kind of been on a rocket ship ever since.
Okay. And so you started Lockhart Entertainment. What was the vision? What gap did you see in the industry that you wanted to fill?
So the gap that was missing was it was cultural, right? So for the
Okay.
culture, we were moving all these products forward. We were making them popular. We were making them successful, desirable, right? We were creating these trends that were contagious. However, on the financial side, we were not being paid adequately for that influence, right? So initially, Lockhart Entertainment, we just had a group of young models who were passing out samples of liquor drinks, and
Wow.
we just had to figure out, okay, we're just the ones passing out the sample drinks, and they're paying us. We're getting like I think 5 grand a month then, and that was in the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
2006.
Mm-hmm.
So once we realized it was a corporate side that all these liquor brands looked at
Mm-hmm.
venues as real estate and they had to get their product on the shelf, then we just
Oh.
twisted that and made sure that all the restaurants, all the hotels, everyone that was doing these clubs and pushing their products knew that they had to pay to get on the shelf, not the other way around. And once we, changed that narrative, um, before you know it, those same liquor companies were saying, "Hey, well, what other things can we do? What they call on premise and off premise. What can we do outside of these nightclubs and restaurants?" And then we
Mhm.
started creating events where they could attach their brand to, and that's when
Oh.
America started seeing things like the 1800 tequila promotion. People start seeing the Black Bottle Boys promotion. People start seeing the 24 karat promotion. Those were all my blueprints and my business models.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there's that difference between being popular and being profitable. And you got into the
Okay.
profitable side. Let me ask you this. How do brands actually decide who's worth partnering with?
So that's a phenomenal question as well. So when brands look at any partnership, it's all about
Yeah.
alignment. About alignment. It's about the syncrecy. It's about really what their core values are. So every brand has a core value, has a motto, and most of them have some type of you know I wouldn't say like a beneficiary, but they have different protocols that they want to make donations to. So you may have a company that says, we are really interested in kid medicine. We are really interested in cancer research. We are interested in, health
Mhm.
and play, or we're interested in mental health. So there's got to be some alignment
Mhm.
with a lot of those brands. And when now the liquor brands they're not so conscious about it. They're really about, okay, if you're trying to drink, we're gonna make sure it happens. But you have brands that have, family owned companies that do have some type of, business model and they want to stick to it. So really that's the key. You have to make
Mhm.
sure there's some alignment with what your project is and what their brand is. And that's where our company really succeeds and that's where we're proficient. We
Mhm.
know since we've been in business so long with these Fortune 100 companies, we know what they're
Mhm.
looking for to the point where now we tell them what they need versus me saying, "Hey, I got this idea," or we just say, "Here's the project. This is going to work for you. Here's the demographic. It fits your demographic. We need 5,000. We need 10,000.
Mhm.
We need 80,000." So that's how we work it.
And what makes someone brand ready?
Brand ready. So from a client's perspective or for a consumer perspective, that makes sure
Maybe like from a
maybe both.
perspective of someone who wants to be like different companies who are trying to be out there, who are ready to reach the people. What would make them brand ready?
Right. Okay. So
Or
what I
people
tell
who
a
are
lot of my
looking to
yeah.
align with brands. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, so if a corporation is looking to align with a brand, it's
Mhm.
all about integrity, right? So you can do an event with 50 people, but if it's the
Mhm.
right 50 people, then you can have a company write a check for $100,000. Or you can
Mhm.
do an event that has 500 people, right?
Yeah.
And it could be just random people, but if those 1,000 people show up, then again, it
Mhm.
shows credibility and integrity. So really, to make you, if you want to connect with the brand and the brand to connect with you, it starts with integrity. Again, I've been in this for 21 years,
Mhm.
and the entertainment circle is small, media is small, and if you make a mistake, then you
Mhm.
have to pretty much take your whole company down and put a new name on it, right? And try and get
Oh,
back in that circle.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that. Even with artists, even with entertainers, once you tarnish your brand, which it doesn't take long, one mistake, people will kind of put you in the dirt. So for 21
Mm,
years, we can say, I mean, and we're still the go-to for sponsorship procurement, for event
mhm,
activation. So if you're trying to align your brand, integrity is a big, big deal. Never
mm,
overpromise. Never
mhm,
overpromise. Just say, hey, we can provide this, this, and this if you give me this much, but we can give you all of this if you give me
mhm.
that much. And then you just make sure that you hit those target assets for them. And you'll always have a sponsor in your corner who will ask you what's next, and earmark
Oh,
money for you for your other events.
oh, wow. Okay. That sounds good for
Mhm.
small business owners or influencers listening, because that's that's basically what most of us are doing now, right? What's the one thing they can do today to make themselves stand out to sponsors or even event organizers?
I would say diversify your portfolio. Like,
Mm,
so for me, I started off I did a club one summer. One summer is all it took. I stand
mhm,
outside the club, want people to come and try and make money. One summer. After that, like I said, I went to the corporate side of it and said, okay, I can't count on if it rains, people not showing up to the club. But if it doesn't rain, they are. Like I couldn't count on that. I needed guaranteed. So you can't, and I'm not saying you can't, but it's
mhm,
best to have a diversified way for not only for the sponsor, for the client, but for your brand. I do the
mhm,
celebrity flag football game. I do celebrity golf. I do celebrity basketball games. I do celebrity engagements and appearances. I do celebrity dinners and sneaker balls. So I do. Uh, uh, I mean, you name it, we probably do it, right? Because the
mhm,
sponsors say, "Hey, what do you have next? What do you have next?" So we have to give them more and more and more. So I would say to
mhm,
anyone getting started, don't if you get locked into one lane,
mhm,
you better be super proficient in that lane. But if you have
mhm.
multiple lanes, you're gonna always be all right.
Okay. Okay. So if you got, like, say for instance, here you have a brand that you are going to, someone came to you and said, hey, yeah, I'm a brand. We have a brand here and we want to get to sponsors and event organizers. What does that look like? What do you look for with those brands to say, okay, I think you're ready and I think I can take you to this sponsor, I can take you to this event organizer?
Yeah, so that comes down to bandwidth. So I won't even take on a client if they can't manage the bandwidth. So if I take your product, you've got you got some new jeans you want to advertise, and we
Hmm.
put your new jeans out at, I don't know, at an award show. Well, you
Okay.
have to be able to fulfill the orders once we
Mhm.
amplify your product. From a customer service standpoint, we can't amplify it if you don't have a warehouse full of these jeans, right?
Right.
So it
Okay.
comes to, so it has to be a real, like, so before you start, with me personally, I know people just take your money and tell you it's going to work. But for me, I know the power of our marketing. So when we
Hmm.
take a product or service and we advertise that product or service, that service is going to go. That product is going to go. So we make sure
Okay.
that the client has the bandwidth to fulfill whatever orders come after our promotions.
That makes sense. So I want to ask you, because I see so many creatives, and I mostly talk about creatives because I think it is a creative space in order to, creatively bring companies and brands and sponsors and event organizers together, right? So a lot of creatives fall into the trap. What's the difference? Like, online. I don't know if you do online stuff, but I know a lot of us that are probably listening, or the businesses, we all have to be posting, right? So, what's the difference between just posting and actually building a brand, really marketing your brand to reach people and grow it, as opposed to just like, I'm posting about my brand, I'm posting about my company, but it's not really building? What would be that difference?
Yeah, I'm chuckling because I know people who say, "Man, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy." But are you productive? And
Right.
Raquel, that's why I started smiling when you said that. So people post all the time, but are you looking at the algorithms? Are you looking at what it gives you, your data, or do you have
Hmm.
your post set up under a business account where it will give you your matrix? Like you need to know,
Hmm.
okay, I posted at this time.
Hmm.
Was it valuable to post at this time, or is it more valuable for me to post 2 hours early? Is it more
Mm-hmm.
value for me to post if I live on the East Coast? Should I post on West Coast time? So
Mm-hmm.
if you want your brand to have an impactful engagement online, you have to look at your data. And everyone's data is going to be different based
Mm-hmm.
off of your followings, based off your region, right? Based
Mm-hmm.
off of what you even have in your profile. So whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, the pictures that you have now with this AI technology, it's only going to feed to that special interest group. So again,
Mm-hmm.
that's where diversification comes in with your portfolio. Now you can hit more people. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I would just say it's not about being busy posting; it's about being productive with those posts.
Yeah, because I think that's what it is. I think people you get busy posting, but you're not really building anything. And you may be posting about your business, posting about what you're doing, but it's not really building. And you say the building side of it is looking at those analytics, looking at like how
Correct.
they're, building, if they're building. That's what you're saying. Yes.
Correct. So you make adjustments based off. So if I post on a Monday and
Mm-hmm.
I get 4,000 views, and I
Mm-hmm.
post on that Monday at noon, but then the next Monday I post at 3 p.m., right,
Mm-hmm.
East Coast time, and I get 12,000 views. What that lets me know from my analytics is that I need to start posting at 3 p.m., not 12.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
got to look at those patterns, and they're that simple. So you can post at multiple times a day, and it could
Yeah.
be the same content, right? And
Yeah.
then you want to just validate what is the
Mm-hmm.
strongest, so then you can minimize the times you post, so it is more productive and more effective.
How can we shift from just showing up online to actually providing value, even from a personal brand standpoint?
From a branding standpoint,
Yeah. Like a personal brand, some like, people have personal brands, business brands. We want to
versus brands.
provide value for, shift from just showing up to providing the value to people who are going to see us and hopefully decide, yeah, I want to be down with that. I'm going to follow them.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, consistency is a big one, Raquel, as you know, right? And then your brand. Some people start with one brand, and,
Mm-hmm.
and as an entrepreneur, we all do this. You get on one project and like, oh, this is good, but there's another one sitting over here. Let me get on this one too, right?
Yeah.
So I would say stay forever strategic. So regardless of how many
Mm-hmm.
things you have going on, strategy is big, but strategy is lost in our culture. People have these great ideas and they want to just jump on the next one. You can do
Yeah.
all of them if you have the right strategy. So that's what I would say from a branding, especially with personal brands.
Mm-hmm.
My team tells me all the time, Lockhart, you are the brand. You are the brand. You should post more. You should post more. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't, and it's not because I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
The events we do are so impactful. 90% of the events we do are televised. So
Okay.
I'm hitting those markets. I'm hitting those target markets. And, from a brand, I do it for my client. So although I
Mm-hmm.
am a brand, I try
Yeah.
and stay behind the product that I'm pushing so
Yeah.
that people are still buying the product and not just buying it because of me.
Right. That makes sense because a lot of people want to be the forefront of the brand, but I totally get it. You're saying the brands that you bring to the table, they're the star of the show, and you stay
Correct.
behind the scenes.
Correct.
That's awesome.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and brands
Yeah.
appreciate that, especially in a time where all these influencers or TikTokers, some people get caught up more with the person that's, advertising the event versus or
Mhm.
advertising the product than the product itself, and that's why our product may hit for a second and then fall down. I make sure that the
Mhm.
product stays in the forefront, and Lockhart Entertainment, we're just the train moving it along.
Mhm. I like that. It's a long-term thinking, it's strategy, and it's sustainability, and I like that. Like I like how you say that, staying behind the scenes. It's not about the quick hit. It's about
It's never about that.
foundation building. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
relationships, that's right.
So, Alex, I wanted to play a little game. I'm trying this, right? And I like to call it myth versus market reality. Okay, so I'm gonna go through
Mm,
some of the biggest misconceptions floating around in the industry because we get all of them, but we want to get straightened out. And you tell us if it's fact or fiction, and why. Right? That sounds like a good game to play.
I like that. I like that. I need. That's why I need some behind the scenes on this one. This is gonna be funny.
Okay, good. Okay. You need 1 million followers to get brand deals. Fact or fiction?
that that is that's fiction. And if I could elaborate that is so fiction. I have less than I think I have less than I know I have like less than like 10,000 on my YouTube, and I
Okay.
absolutely have less than 6,000 on my Instagram.
You say
I joke
absolutely.
with yeah, so like and anybody that knows and does the research, we're bringing in millions of dollars in sponsorships. We're bringing in millions of dollars in revenue. You can check it; it's online, right? So it's not about the followers. Jesus had 12 disciples, right?
Yeah, he did.
So you only need you give me a strong 12. I'm gonna shake it up.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna shake it up.
I'm gonna shake
Okay,
it up.
shake it up. And I like that. You don't need because that is definitely the big misconception. You need
No,
all these followers
no,
to make it
no,
happen, and it's not true. Y'all hear that? All
no,
right,
no. You have to be the real deal, and that's it.
awesome. Myth two: all publicity is good publicity. Fact or fiction?
That's a fact. That is
Okay.
a fact, Jack. That is a fact. All publicity is, in fact, good publicity. Now, obviously, if you can mitigate the negative publicity, it keeps you in the forefront of good relationships with good people, right? You don't want to have a brand not want to work with you because of negative publicity.
Right.
However, all publicity is excellent publicity.
Okay. Y'all heard
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Number three: marketing is all about visuals.
You know, I would have to say marketing is all about visuals. So to me, if you want to successfully market a brand, it has to be contagious. And when I say
Ah.
that, Raquel, I mean it has to be where if I see it, hear it, touch it, feel it, smell it, I want those same feelings again. So when we're
Mm,
marketing a product, we keep it simple. We just talk, we think about the senses. Okay, how does it make me feel when I touch it?
mm,
How does it make me feel when I smell it? How does it make me feel when I see it? So I would say that's not a miss in our playbook because
mhm,
again, that's my because when I work with a client, I want that contagious feeling. If you had your first
mhm,
sip of sapphire coffee from the farms of Colombia, you're like, whoa, I need that feeling again. So it's a contagious energy. So visually, you got the branding,
mhm,
but you have the other senses as well. So,
mm,
that's a toss up, but I'm gonna say it's definitely not a myth. I think that's the real deal.
mhm. Got it. I'll try to touch on those senses. I see.
Every time I'm dropping a lot of jewels here, so
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And that's why I made sure I asked these questions.
there you go.
So
I just hope they
you're
don't miss them.
no, I'm not gonna miss them, that's for sure. E- Events are just for exposure, not real ROI. Fact or fiction?
Events are for exposure and not real return on investment. That's fiction. Like so, every event. So a sponsor is not going to give you $1 if they don't see where there's going to be a return. So when
Mhm,
we present these sponsorship decks, proposals, or ideas, we lead with this is why you should be a part of this event because the return on your investment is going to be
mhm,
great. And why is it going to be great? Because of this, and this. So when we list out
mhm,
those assets, that's their immediate return, right? And now
mhm,
when the event is over, we do the recap video. That's their residual return. And when people
mhm.
drive to the store and get their products off the shelf, that's also residual return on investment. So you no. Yeah.
No, no,
uh,
no, no, no. It has to be some ROI.
has to be some ROI or you're not going to get PAID, period.
Oh, I heard that. But we want the PAID. So have your ROI.
Hello. That part.
Number five, this is our last one. If you build it, they will come. Fact or fiction?
Facts, big facts. If you have an idea, and I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and just write. I'm still old school pen and paper. I'll write down some ideas and write down some notes,
Mhm.
and I think, oh man, this is brilliant. And then I follow through and I build it
Mhm.
and the money
Mhm.
comes. So, if you build it, they will in fact come.
I like
Facts.
that. Facts, y'all. Out of all these myths, okay, and I can go through them again, which one do you think hurts new entrepreneurs and influencers the most? You need 1 million followers to get brand deals. All
That one
publicity
right
is
there.
good publicity. That one right there, that's the
It's
one
the
that hurts the
followers.
most.
And I'm gonna tell you why it hurts them so bad. Because
Okay.
they will, and I say they as a qualifier. People
Yeah.
will in fact do more to get the followers than to get and retain the client. And if you want to be in the position
Mm,
I'm in, where
yeah.
I mean, I'm doing pretty much whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it, right? But to be in that position, and again, I don't have a large following count. I have the right followers. Um, if you chase the followers, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
miss everything else. Like if you have the right
Mm-hmm.
product and you have the right brand and you're doing right by your clients,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to follow you. So you got to think, okay, do I want these followers or do I want these commas in my bank account? Which one do you
Mm.
want? So I think
Uh,
that hurts. I hurt it because some people do outrageous things for followers that
right.
maybe not even be, that are against their core values or their beliefs, just for the followers.
Right.
And that's not how it's done. So I mean, it's how it's done, but that's not how you get to the level of success that our company has has
Mm-hmm.
has plateaued to, because we just stick to getting what our clients deserve, getting the brands and products in position to win, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not about the followers for me; it's about the followers for my client.
Mm-hmm. And then the loyal followers, those that are going to, that want to see what you're pushing out,
Right?
not just came for the day or two, and then they're like, all right, you never see them again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. I think that's
like
out of
that.
all the questions. Yeah, out of all the questions, I think that's the one that would slow down
Okay.
young and old in this market trying to get into it, because if they focus on trying to get a ton of followers, you're wasting to me, you're wasting more time trying to get followers when you could actually have a product or service paying you, right, to
Mm-hmm.
get them the followers.
Oh, I see. Then you said the right followers. How would someone go about getting the right followers?
Right. So that also comes with engagement, but that
Right.
also comes with sticking to your brand. So everybody has a special interest, right? There's people that
Mm-hmm.
love to go fishing, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
special interest group, if I put up a profile that I've fished, I'm going to probably have fishing people that's going to follow me, right? If I am a soccer player, I'm going to have that's going to be my community, right? So forth and so on. So it's really about curating your community, your personal brand, and then from there, with the right followers, if that's what you're looking to do, you'll have the right followers. Now, from me, I'm in entertainment marketing, right, and development. So there are a
Mm-hmm.
number of entertainers that just happen to follow me, right? But when it comes to the right followers, those are the followers that are going to, when you put up a post, they're going to immediately engage. They're going to immediately comment, right? Those are those
Okay.
loyal brand followers. They're going to immediately say, hey, they're going to go to the link and they're going to at least try it, right? So that means they're not just following your lead, they're taking your advice. So those are what I
Mm-hmm.
would consider the right followers.
Great advice. I really enjoyed this. Like, okay, you all, these are all aha moments. He said he was dropping gems, and he really did. You're literally rewiring how people see the business side of creativity. Did you go to school for this? Is this what you studied in college?
So I did 2 years of school in
Okay.
marketing and economics. When my
Mm-hmm.
scholarship was about to end, I asked my dad. I said, "Look, man, I'm already making money doing these exhibits, right,
Mm-hmm.
shows, and events, and I'm like, do I take the money and put it right back into school or whatever?" He said, "Look, he's like, you can come back to school." He said, "If you have the momentum right now," he said, "if you have the inertia right now and it's moving in the right direction, this is what you love to do. Keep doing what you have to do, and you can always go back to school." So I
Yeah.
went talked to my professor, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm in a position where if I can't get another scholarship, I don't see me spending the money I'm making in the field that I'm." Destined to be in. Like, this is the field I'm trying to be in. I'm already making money in it. What should I do? And he and I
Yeah.
had a long conversation, and Raquel, you're going to get a kick out of this. So that year,
Uh-huh.
My final year, before I did try to get another scholarship, but I was on a band scholarship. So
Okay.
I just hired the professor and just put more energy in our marketing company. And to
Oh
this
my
day,
gosh.
yeah, yeah. So I hired my professor and been rolling ever since.
I love that. You're right. I
Yeah,
would get a kick out of that. I did. That is so awesome. And he was like, yeah, let's
yeah.
do this. That
Let's
is
do it.
awesome.
So, yeah, he was all for it.
Eh,
He's like, so he's like, you are making money. I said, I'm making money. I'm in front of the class and they're talking about my event that I'm about to do, 2 months, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now. I'm executing an event. Everybody in the class is coming out volunteering to do my events. I'm in front of the
wow.
class giving dissertations. I'm like, look, we got to come up with a different plan. And I
Yeah.
hired my professor and we've been rocking ever since.
Wow. What do you think was the difference between those who were in class just learning and you who you got the information and you got out and you were like, I'm going to do it? But I do remember you said that you had to figure something out because you wanted to
Yeah, I
keep up
did.
your lifestyle.
That that's a fact, and that's a fact. So the difference is, there's people that will really talk and have some brilliant ideas,
Mhm.
but the person that executes it gets the credit, believe it or not.
Mm,
And so for me, I'm going to do it. And so I don't have that fear of failure. Never have. I will try
that's
it.
great.
I will learn it. I learn really quickly.
Mhm.
A lot of times we get in our own way with fear. So the difference between me and other people in the class, oh man, I don't have enough money yet, or oh, I don't have a business card yet, or I don't have a tax ID number yet, or I don't have
Mm,
this. It didn't matter what I didn't have. I knew what I wanted and I didn't
mm,
hesitate and I still don't hesitate. And I think
yeah.
that's the only difference. There's a lot of people have a ton of ideas. They're like, oh my gosh, I had that idea first, but you didn't execute it. I'm going to
Mm.
execute. Our company, we execute. And I think that's the major difference. It was the same in college, same as it is now. As a parent and father, like you have to execute the ideas. You say you're going to do it, you got to get it done.
I love that because some people have it's the constant. I'm preparing. I'm getting it ready. I'm getting it ready, but it never happens. Wow. So you've been in this game killing it for like 2 decades.
Yeah.
That's rare
Yeah.
because people come and go. A lot of people
Right.
can start something like you said, but staying relevant and respected over time is another story. And I love that what you're doing because like you have the gems, you know what it's all about, and you're making it happen, and we can see it. What's the secret to staying in this industry long term without losing your fire?
Yeah, so this my personal secret again all falls on integrity. And because you're building relationships along the way. And
Mm-hmm.
a business relationship, just like an intimate relationship with a spouse, friend, or even a family member, you have to stay true to those relationships. And if you keep those relationships and you nurture those relationships, then those clients will be there for you, just like you will be there for them. I can still call, no matter what city you stay down in. I know I can call a representative from Coca-Cola. I can call a
Mm-hmm.
representative from Pepsi. I can call a
Mm-hmm.
representative from AT&T. I can call these people and they will 100% tell the person in that region, hey, this is Alex Lockhart. You need to work with him. We work with him here in Chicago, and he's got a
Mm-hmm.
project. Call him, get it done. And so
Mm,
those were
that's
relationships, right? Because
yeah.
and so the funny thing about AT, I say AT&T because there was a young lady at Cricket Wireless when I first
Okay.
started in 2015. I started Celebrity Games. She was a sponsor. Well, then she gets promoted from Cricket to AT&T. AT&T owns Cricket Wireless. So as she was
Yeah.
giving me 20,000 and sponsorships when she was at Cricket, when she got to
Mhm.
AT&T, she can give me 20,000 a week. So if I would have messed that relationship up as she was climbing her ladder, or as my
Yeah.
guy over at Matt in Arizona at Pepsi as he's climbing his ladder, or my guy at Publix grocery store in Florida as he's climbing his ladder, those relationships I keep them. Even if they move to a lateral position to another company, I have
Yeah.
those relationships and they can come through the door and say, hey, when it's time to do an event, I got a guy that I can
Yeah.
call. So the secret would be maintaining your relationships. Be honest. If something's not working, constant communication. I know we have this project coming up. Guys, we're missing our target by this. We need to either do this or we need to pivot. Be
Mm,
forthcoming with information.
mm,
Keep the relationship. as honest and open as possible as you would your personal relationship. And to me, that's my secret to success, and that's
Mhm.
why I can kick back in Colombia during the week. So
I love it because I was going to ask you that. What's the secret to keeping, well, one, getting, keeping, maintaining, and you have those relationships throughout, a whole your whole career here. How, and I know you said by being honest, letting be of integrity, letting them know if targets are going to be missed. Is there anything else that would be one, how do you start it and maintain it? That would
okay.
be like the one thing.
Okay. Yeah. So from the start, so clearly I got a head start on most people in the game. I started in 2004, right? So, but there's so much space and opportunity for everybody because someone's always getting hired, someone's always moving to a different position, whether it's vertical or
Mhm.
lateral. So getting started would be the same thing. If you have the opportunity, or just being in the right places, right? So if you're at an event and the event you go to, you're looking at your ticket and it has all these logos on it. Most likely that brand is going to be on site somewhere. So you can make it a point to either go to the event with the intentions of meeting those brand representatives,
Mhm.
or you can go to the
Mhm.
event and just be at the event. I go to
Mhm.
those events to this day. If I see a bunch of logos on there and I don't know that person, I'm going to the event
Yeah.
to meet that person. I'm going to
Ah.
meet that vendor, and I'm going to present myself as, hey, I'm Alex Lockhart of Lockhart Entertainment. I would love to get you on the call as my executive assistant and figure out how ways we can. This event is good, but I know a few events that would definitely look good to fit your profile and your target audience. And I think we can amplify your brand by doing A, B, and C. Let's get on the call
Mm.
and make it happen. So you got to know your stuff and you got to be intentional because you can
Mhm.
find these people a lot easier face to face than
Uh-huh.
people getting lazy with these DMs and like face to face is always going to be the key for me.
Mm.
Again, I'm
Yeah.
face to face. I'm on the plane. What do you do? Right? I'm in
Mhm.
the lobby. What do you do? I'm in the elevator.
Mhm.
Hey, what do you do? So it's. I think to get the start, you just have to start.
You just have to start. Wow. And be willing to, I guess, make those mistakes or and then readjust
Absolutely,
and keep moving forward.
absolutely.
I know you said you didn't have the fear of failure, and I love that because the entertainment and influencer world moves fast. And you saying I didn't have that fear of failure. I'd get out there and I do it. And I'm sure over a period of time, your company has evolved in ways that has gotten you here. How do you adapt without losing your core identity?
Oh, excellent. So adaptation, again, I
Mhm.
can parallel and draw this all back to relationships and your core
Mhm.
values. But adaptation, I don't know if that's something that as a learned behavior as much as it is a taught behavior. For
Okay.
me, I've always known how to adapt to my environment. Some people say, "Man, I heard you on the phone. You sounded different." Well, I had to sound different, because
Yeah.
that was the level, that was the room I was in. Some people, uh, look down on that, right? That, oh, you're not being authentic. No, I'm being very
Mhm.
authentic. If I'm in the library, I'm probably going to whisper.
Yeah. Right.
But if I'm
Okay.
at but if I'm at but if I'm at the football game, I'm gonna be yelling. Right.
Yes.
So again, people too much pressure on that adaptation. To adapt is to succeed. Because if you can't
Mhm.
adapt to your environments and into the room that you're in, you might as well cancel it. You might as well cancel Christmas
Mm.
because you won't go far if you can't adapt.
Ah, I see. That does make sense. I like when you put it, you framed it as if I'm at a football game, I'm going to be loud. If I'm in a library, I'm going to be quiet. I'm still being my authentic self, but I have learned how to adapt
Come on,
with,
Raquel.
yeah, yes. I like that. So in that, in this business that you're doing, it's a lot of creative freedom, but there's also that structure that you have for your business. How do you maintain the two between them both and keep them consistent?
Again, so constant communication is relevance. When there's a
Okay.
change, you communicate on all ends. You communicate on to your team, right? You communicate
Mhm.
to your family, so you keep a good business family balance, right? You communicate
Okay.
to your loved ones. You communicate. So again, people, it's not that difficult.
Mhm.
Communication, right? Integrity. right?
Mm,
Doing to others as you have them doing to you. So
right.
all these small things that people overlook, they hear it, but they don't practice it. It's
Yeah.
so, to me, it's so simple. So when it comes to a balance, it still goes on communication, because if everyone's on the same page, that balance is
Hmm.
lighter, the stress is lighter, because we know
Hmm.
what the other person's going through. We know if
Hmm.
there's been some change in planning, timing, right? So that communication allows for better balance. Again, these are all my personal opinions right here.
Right. And does that include your creative freedoms as well?
Absolutely,
The same
absolutely.
thing.
So my team, we have a think board. So when we have
Okay.
ideas, I'm just, hey, throw ideas. So we throw ideas at the board, right, and see what sticks. And so from creative standpoint, that's another form of communicating. If they don't feel comfortable saying whatever, thinking I
Hmm.
may look at it different, or the person beside them may look at it different,
Yeah.
then that free creativeness, I'm putting a cap on it. So in
Hmm.
order not to put a cap on it, I'm communicating, hey, whatever you're thinking, whatever you feel that pops out, let's go, let's throw it on the wall, and let's see
Hmm.
if it sticks. So it still comes back to the communication, but people have to feel comfortable communicating. You have to
Yeah.
be, you have to be strong in your own spirit and confidence to communicate. When things aren't going great, you have to communicate that. Our culture has a
Hmm.
horrible problem with delivering what would be bad news, right? So
Right.
I tell people, hey, we're not denied as much as which just might be a delay. So there's always going to be a
Mm-hmm.
solution, right? There's always going to be a solution, always. Um, so yeah, I think for the most part, if you communicate well, that creativeness can always be just that, creative.
Okay. Yes. Now in school they always teach you, well, they teach you there's a difference between the marketing and the advertising. And sometimes I'm not quite sure they explain it well enough, maybe for me, because I'm like, well, I understand there's advertising, but the marketing, I think that's where, we really get like, how do we really market something where we're pulling in those things that we desire, the sponsors, the event planners, the followers, influencers, or whatever. What is that special or most important thing about marketing?
Yeah. Marketing, Raquel, is intentional. An
Mm-hmm.
ad is what you see when you drive by on you're on the road and you see the ad. That ad
Okay.
is just there. Now, although it
Okay.
has its intention, right?
Yeah.
It's not, its intention is just that, the advertisement. Marketing is
Mm-hmm.
more of a direct profiling, right? So if I'm going to market this product or service and I'm selling ice cream, I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
sell the ice cream in the summertime instead of selling the ice cream in the wintertime. Right? So
Right.
but would I run an ad in the winter? Yes. But am I going to put marketing dollars in the winter? No. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I look at it from an advertising and a marketing. Advertising is something that's going to be there, continuous thought, right? But the marketing means someone took time to strategically put this here. I tell my team, if you're watching the golf channel, the commercials
Mm-hmm.
you see on the golf channel are going to be the opposite of the commercials you see on BET if you're watching BET, because
Mm-hmm.
someone is saying, "Ooh, we need to market to our target demographic."
Mm-hmm.
So they put the right ads into the
Mm-hmm.
marketing, if that makes sense.
The right ads into the marketing. I get it. Because
Correct.
you said it's being intentional.
Intentional.
It's
Yep.
drawing those people into, like, I guess, what the product is and how it is going to relate to them and why they should feel
Correct.
good about it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, good. So good. We got it. So I like to leave my listeners with something that they can apply. So let's get like down to practicals. I'm gonna follow up on some things, right? For someone building their brand or business right now, what's one action step they can take this week to elevate their marketing?
Actually, get your company registered and be a legit company. You don't want to be the person when they say, "Oh yeah," you go through all the steps and they say, "Oh, well, send us your tax ID and your W-9 so we can create an ACH form and get you paid." And then
Oh,
you're
well,
like, "Oh, I don't have a business account. I don't have a tax ID." That that would be the worst thing you could do. So I would say if you haven't done that step, I know you're thinking, well, of course they would have done. You'd be surprised how many people are running a business, don't have a business account, don't have a tax ID number, right? And don't have things set up as a business. I would say start with just setting up the business. I know you know plenty of people that could do it. I know you got plenty of people on your show that could help with that. You know,
Yes.
get with Raquel, find somebody that can set your business up. I know people on our team that can do it, but set the business up the right way before you
Yes.
start because it could go faster than you know, and you don't want to be in a position where you lose business by not
Mhm.
having a legit business.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I hear that so often. And then I am surprised because I'm like, I don't get how are you doing this all along? Or do you think people are just like, look, let me just get started. Let me just get in. I'll do all that other stuff later.
Yeah, that does happen. I mean, people, because again, that fear, you're like, well, this might not even work. Why am I going to get a whole business license and do this and do that? Let me just see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Again, you once you invest in yourself. So for me, Raquel, the thought of losing, like my company is called Lockhart Entertainment. We also have Lockhart Enterprise. So I can't afford for the Lockhart brand to fail. So when I started and invested in myself, winning is the only
Mhm.
option for me. Right? So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yes.
have a brand, you know what I mean? And then bankrupt the brand and have to change the name. No, we're gonna run this thing out. You know, I
Yes.
got the same cell phone number. I got the same cell phone number since 2004. I ain't
Wow.
changing my number. I'm not
I
changing
know
the
that's
company website. I'm not changing anything. Like we're gonna do what's right by our people, and we're gonna keep continuing to grow and leave a legacy behind.
I love that because you're like, look, I started something. When I started, I was serious about it, serious about growing it, understanding that it is something that is possible. And the only goal is to win. That's what we must do. And I love that because you stuck with it. And it's been 20 years, y'all. Over 20
Oh yeah,
years.
oh
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah.
What's the biggest waste of time? We talked about influencers and creators, trying to get millions of followers. But what's the biggest waste of time you see creators doing right now?
The biggest waste of time is trying to create something new. People
Oh,
try to keep creating new stuff. Like
mhm.
that's not the play. That is not the play.
Okay.
Everything, like all you have to do is take what's already been created and just
Right.
figure out a way to amplify that creation. You know,
Mm.
I go back to communication, relationships, and even the Bible. The same stories that you read in the Bible are the same stories we see in the movies. Whenever they
That's
come up with
right.
a new movie, it's just different characters, right?
Right.
Nothing's changing, right? Nothing's changing. You would think
Mhm.
about when you go in the grocery store, Raquel, and you go to the bread aisle.
Yeah.
All these choices of bread, and they got the same ingredients. Come on
You
now,
are so
flour and
right.
water. Come on. They got the
Right.
same ingredients, flour and
Yeah.
water. How many different orange juices can you have? How many
Right.
different apple juices can you have? Is it apple? I mean, what are we doing? You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? So I think when people waste time, is because they try to come up with these brilliant ideas. If somebody went viral for something, do the
Mhm.
exact same thing, but do it as you, and it will go
Oh,
viral again. Like if so, and again, this is my thought process. I'm just giving it to you because you asked me, right?
yeah.
So, to me, it's a waste of time to try and create something. The reason I'm in the game for 20 years because we haven't changed it all. We're just helping everybody come to me. When they find me, we're gonna make it work. So
Right.
we don't change anything. I do the same program. I even sell my business model. So
Mhm.
we don't have to change. And I think people waste time by trying to come up with something that's just
Yeah.
mind blowing. And you do that just to be you lose a lot of time. All you have
Wow.
to do, if it's something you're passionate about, I'm pretty sure somebody else is already doing it. What you think about that bread out analogy?
No, I love that because you're so right. I was looking at something the other day because when you said it to me, like don't try to reinvent the wheel. And when
Exactly.
you said it, something came to my mind because I was like, wait a second. It's coming slowly because I can almost see the pictures, but it was like, wait a second. It was this brand, but then Poppy, like the little drinks with the supposed to be good for the
Okay.
stomach, the sodas, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And it was like, wait a second, you have the Poppy and you have the Olipop, right? but they're pretty much the same. They almost have like the same colors and the same. I believe the ingredients are pretty much the same. You know, give or
Right.
take a few. I don't know. But
Right.
I've had both of them. I do like the poppy better, but like you said, it's the Olipop and the poppy. It's the same thing. It and the look isn't even that much different. It's just I think the way they have the longer name written. But you're right. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just do it your way.
Correct.
Oh my
Absolutely
gosh.
right.
Now I guess
Absolutely
it's
right.
that part of finding your way to do it. Like, what's your way?
Well, I mean, you gotta think about it. There's plenty of podcasts, but look the way you do it. Look at your background. Look at your color scheme. Look at your energy. You're bringing you to the people, right? So
Yes.
somebody else is going to relate to you better than they may relate to someone else, right? Today I'm
Yes.
rocking my cowboy hat. Tomorrow I might
Yes.
have on a fitted hat, right? So that relates to certain people. Certain people gravitate to it, but I'm still the same old me. So,
Yes.
I would say that a lot of creatives are wasting time by trying to recreate, then just take that space, dominate that space in your own way.
I love that. That is definitely another gem you have dropped on the Planet Rock podcast. When it comes to partnerships, what's one major mistake people make when approaching sponsors and collaborators?
Over promising, over
Oh,
promising. Yeah, because unless you're doing a ticketed event, um, where you have, and you've done it multiple years, and you
mm-hmm.
have a proven business model of like selling out an arena, you can't.
Okay.
A lot of people when they partner with someone, they sell them a dream, but they're counting on that sponsorship money to make their dream come true. So they
Mm-hmm.
lead with, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Just get all we need is your sponsorship dollars to do it. We need that 10,000 over there, and we're gonna do all this. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now the clock is still ticking while you're waiting on the 10 grand. So you're really not able to move until you get that sponsor. Then you find out, oh, the sponsor comes back and negotiates, hey, we can't do 10 since it's your first event. We're gonna do five.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got five, but they still want what you promised them, right?
Right.
But they're just coming at a different level. And then
Yeah.
so a lot of people, when it comes to partnerships, they overpromise and
Mm-hmm.
underdeliver, and then you're pretty much dead after that.
Mm. So you're saying that
Right.
it's one, do what you know you can do and make the promise on
Right.
what you know you can deliver, right?
Right.
And two, make sure, is it like putting the sponsor and the collaborators first? Like, what are you bringing to the table that's going to help them?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
These sponsors, what people don't realize is these sponsors have they have a budget per region, per county,
Okay.
even per city and state. They have a budget, right? If they
Mm-hmm.
don't spend that budget, when they go to their meeting at the end of the year, they're like, "Oh, well, you had a $500,000 budget. You only spent four, so and you did pretty good. So we're just gonna give you four this year to work with." So now
People are
that
like, wait a second.
person, right? So they're like, "Dang, I only got four." But if they were able to spend all $500,000, then they're like, "Yeah, we spent $500,000." Like, yeah, but I need more because I could do better. So
Mm-hmm.
the sponsors need us creators. The sponsors need Lockhart Entertainment to give them some events so they can spend that money, show that return, and keep spending that money. So
Mm-hmm.
they need us, and I think the misconception is, we're chasing down sponsors when, believe it or not, these companies need us in the community. Some of them don't even know how to engage in our community, so they need us to bridge that gap. So
Mm-hmm.
I think from a sponsorship standpoint, you gotta be able to give the sponsor what they want at all times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you have tools, habits, or like some system that you personally rely on to stay sharp and organized.
I got a praying grandmother.
Okay.
Right.
That'll do it.
Let's do it. I mean, but so you know what I do? Self care.
Okay.
So the first of every month, usually like the first week, I get a crazy manicure. I go to the Korean shop. They be putting this. What's that wax they put all on my leg and on my foot? I love that. They, I go
I love it.
the paraffin wax. I go get
The
that. I get the
paraffin, yes.
massage. Yeah. If there's a movie, I go get a big pocket of popcorn and I sit and I watch whatever the latest movie is. And I
Yes.
do that in probably like a 2 day span. And and
Mm.
and you know what? We're so attached to our phones. I put my
Yes.
phone down at dinner. At dinner, you will not see
Mhm.
my phone. at all.
I
You
love
know,
that. I
if you
love
and I are
that.
having a conversation, you won't see my phone at all. So I protect my peace. I know that's cliche these days. People, oh, protect your peace, but I think that's one of the keys is as far as staying in, prayer, self care, because you don't want stress to fall on you. Sometimes you don't know
Right.
how many people are counting on you, so you want to always
Mhm.
make sure that you are available for people to pour into you and you to pour into them.
I love that. The self care, the taking care of yourself, the peace, protecting it. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so common for people to like just overlook that altogether. I know I do. Like, I don't do any of
Don't
those
do it.
things. And for a month, I've been saying I need to get a massage. And I have not even picked up the phone. I haven't even looked for anyone to do a massage. And I'm like, my gosh, like at some point, you have to do something to treat yourself. Okay, quickly finish this sentence if I can remember it right quick. Wait a second. The game changes when you.
The game changes when you believe in yourself.
Oh, I love it. Yes, very
Yeah,
important because you
that's a
can't do
fact.
anything without that belief in yourself. I
No,
love it.
because if you second guess yourself and keep second guessing yourself, you'll stay stagnant. So you got to be able to innovate and not be stagnant. You
Mm,
can't do it. And so if you have any doubt within you, when you deliver it, no one's gonna believe it. When you speak it, nobody's gonna believe it. When you say, "Hey, let's go do it," nobody's gonna believe it because they can feel and see the doubt. So you got to believe in yourself.
believe in yourself. I love that. You're right. They're not going to believe it if you don't believe it. Well,
Hello.
oh my gosh. This has been such a great show with you. I'm so happy you came on to share your gems with us. I mean, y'all, he's been in this for 2 decades, killing it, like just doing it all, working with everyone and all the brands, blowing them all up. And he says, you know what? These brands, they're the star. I am behind the scenes driving them. And that's where he likes to be. I love that. And I love that you have that thought process. And y'all, that's where we're going to land for today's journey. If this episode found you in the middle of building, dreaming, or trying to figure it out, your next big move, remember you are not behind, you're being refined. Alex Lockhart has reminded us today that success isn't about luck, it's about strategy, relationships, and showing up with excellence even when no one is watching. Thank you so much, Alex, for being on the show. Please come back to drop some more of them gems.
Hey, I would love to be back on Planet Ross. Just give me a call. We'll make it happen.
Let them know where they can find you real quick.
So I'm at Lockhart ENT, and that's on every social media platform you can find us.
Thank you so much. That has been Planet Rock, where we don't just talk, we tell the truth. If today spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Y'all share it with somebody who needs to hear that their brand has value. Remember to like, subscribe, tap that notification bell on the YouTube channel, Raquel Herring, so you never miss an episode. You can catch me on Planet Rock every Thursday on envision-radio.com and YouTube, and weeknights at 7:30 p.m. on POV Comcast Xfinity Channel 1623. Thank y'all for tuning in. Come back, okay? And look, if you're having a hard day, don't go handing it out like a party favor. Pause, reflect, reset. The world's got enough noise. Be the reason someone breathes easier today, just like Alex was for us. To catch y'all the next time, come back here on Planet Rock.
What an awesome show full of insight and inspiration. Thank you to our guests and listeners. Look forward to hearing us next week on envision-radio.com at 12 noon, right here on Planet Rock.